Let's draw a wolf using regular and colored pencils. With a complex drawing like this, starting is always the hardest part. So choose an individual feature and start there. Once you have something on the paper, then it becomes easier. I'll often start with the eyes, but today I've chosen the ear so that I can start at the top and then work my way down. I'm using an HB pencil and a zigzag scribbling motion to establish a basic hair effect over the entire wolf. What I'm looking for are the directions in the hair in each area and the darkness. So I'll add more scribbles in the darker areas and less in the lighter areas. I am, however, not going to press harder and softer with the pencil though. I'm just going to use a regular drawing pressure. The hair on the wolf overlap each other, so this initial layer is necessary to help us create that effect. And of course, it allows us to plot out the basic tonal values. Now we can refine these tonal values and create the overlapping hair effect by moving to a darker pencil and increasing the tonal values in the correct places. This time, however, we can vary the pressure on the pencil, and of course we'll still increase and decrease the density of the scribbles to get these darker and lighter areas, so that eventually they do match the tonal value on the reference photo. Here you can see a close-up of the zigzags. Notice that I also vary the length of the strokes to match the length of the hair in each area. So here's something interesting. Notice that I'm pointing with my left hand to the corresponding place on the reference photo as to where I'm drawing. This ensures that I don't get lost and the features end up in the correct place on the drawing itself. I find if you don't do this, the features tend to drift to the left or to the right. The mouth area is quite dark and it actually has a lot of detail in it. So you'll need to look very carefully to spot these low contrast details. You want the area where the top and the bottom jaw meet to be dark so that there's a separation between the two. On the sides you want a few darker dots to show where the whiskers come out. And on the nose, the nostrils need to be super dark to get that looking in effect. And then also look for the light reflections and keep those areas lighter so that you can see where's the top of the nose and the front of the nose and so on. The face itself casts a shadow on the neck. So scratch some graphite onto a paper and use a soft cloth to shade this shadow in. Now let's move to drawing the mane. Here you have to concentrate on showing the lighter and darker strips overlapping each other. You do that by establishing the dark strip first, then negatively drawing in the dark hair under the light hair. In the white areas, just suggest a few hairs. If you try to add too much detail here, it will appear darker than it needs to. For the eye, start by establishing the shape of the eye, then add the darkness in the pupil. With a softer pencil, shade the roundness of the eyeball. And finish by drawing some detail around the eye. The eyes are the focal point of the drawing, so by adding detail here, we'll create the illusion of detail everywhere. So do the same for the right eye as well. Notice how I've avoided the area in the eyes where the sun reflects. And with that, the basics of the wolf is now complete. So stand back and check your tonal values. And if required, lighten by drawing negatively with an eraser or darken using a pencil. Now let's add some of the light reflecting on the wolf's coat. For this, I'm using standard colored pencils. With a mustard yellow, shade in the eyes and yellow areas of the hair. I'm not trying to get any detail with the colored pencil. We have already drawn all those details in with the graphite pencil, so simply use flat shadings. With the brown, darken the outsides of the iris to make the eye look round. And then use the same pencil to shade the brown areas of the hair. Here you can see I'm gradually building up the intensity of the yellows and the browns across the entire wolf until I'm happy that it matches the intensity on the photograph. Lastly, use a blue pencil to add the blue reflections as well. Just make sure that the blue that you use is not too intense or it's not going to look natural. It's just a bit of reflected light there, so it's got to be very subtle. And with that, I think we have a good representation of the wolf, so I'll call it a day on this drawing. You're welcome to complete the background as well. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like the video and leave a comment below.